Hello everyone. A lot of you probably know me as I'm the COC chair, but my name is Sam Albert. And I'm going to talk today about our SEDS SSPI competition, the new announcement for our 2018 competition. So I'm really excited to be able to present this to all of you today. So first I'm going to just step you through a little bit of the background on this competition and the partnership that we have between SEDS and SSPI. Let's see here. Okay. So SSPI is a very well-known organization. You can see here a really cool comparison between kind of the beginning of SSPI and where we are now. So Sir Arthur C. Clarke was the first and honorary chairman of SSPI. So the legendary science fiction author, the first one to really envision geostationary communication satellites. And that brings us all the way to today, Nicole Stott holding an SSPI sign up on orbit there. Not just any astronaut, but the kind of astronaut who comes to Space Vision and will be on a panel tomorrow. So as you can see, SSPI, really great organization. We'll talk a little bit more about what it actually is. So one thing is a network. Just like SEDS, SSPI is a great way to meet with other people in your field, other people who have similar, who are working toward the same goals. So yeah, it says biggest membership association in space and satellite. So it includes students, a lot of working professionals, and also retirees who have this huge amount of experience that they can draw from. It's also an educator. So satellites are interesting because you don't always see the work that they're doing. So we're actually going to see a really cool video here that's part of the Better Satellite World campaign, which is one of many SSPI efforts to show the general public how important satellites really are in day-to-day life.
The Internet of Things. It will connect billions of devices, from lights to cars, factories to footballs. By monitoring, measuring, and managing these billions of things, it will save us time and money, reduce waste, cut pollution, and make the way we live safer, easier, and more rewarding. But maybe we should call it the satellite of things instead, because satellite technology has been connecting important things for decades, and will be doing it for decades to come. For more than 30 years, the satellite of things has connected cash registers in stores with computers at corporate headquarters. Machines talked to machines, and retailers discovered what was selling and what was not. The satellite of things has been making the world's energy supply smarter too, from electricity grids to gas and oil pipelines. Sensors, switches, and valves send data and receive commands from space, and the system runs more safely and reliably at lower cost. Today, advances in information technology are giving the Internet of Things new powers, and satellite is spreading them across the globe. Globecom is a communications solutions provider working on the Internet of Things. For one of the world's largest shipping companies, it found a way to make sure that bananas picked in the field and put into a shipping container reached their destination ready for sale. Working with other leading technology firms, Globecom equipped refrigerated shipping containers with temperature sensors and small computers. Each container keeps track of its temperature and reports it over a wireless link to a central computer aboard ship. Wherever the ship sails, the computer stays connected over the Globecom satellite network to the shipping company's computers. The result? An accurate, real-time record of what went on inside the container from the moment it was closed on one side of the ocean to the moment it's opened on the other. When a perishable cargo goes bad, somebody has to make good on it. The satellite of things makes sure the shipper does not pay for problems it did not cause, and that can be worth millions every year. Sometimes the savings is measured in people instead of money. In 2012, America's mid-Atlantic states were struck by Hurricane Sandy, which caused more than $62 billion in damage. One victim was a major water utility serving millions of people in the region. The utility used Internet of Things technology to monitor and control its network of valves, pumps, storage tanks, and reserve pools that deliver a steady supply of clean water. Those machines talk to other machines over cellular links, the same kind used for mobile phones. But Sandy's strong winds and severe flooding took down the cellular network in lots of places. Suddenly, the control room was blind. The company scrambled to send personnel to facilities across the state. They checked sites, radioed the information to headquarters, and manually operated equipment before rushing to the next site. It was an all-hands, around-the-clock exercise that went on for days until cellular service was fully restored. Those days of crisis taught the utility a lesson. Its Internet of Things platform now includes a satellite backup for all remote sites. Going further, state governments began requiring satellite backup for every network that controls crucial infrastructure. It costs a little more, but the risk of failing systems leaving people high and dry, or much worse, spreading disease, far outweighs the cost. Ours is a world of constant change. Things move, storms rise, technology improves, but makes us more vulnerable at the same time. The Internet of Things promises big benefits, but only the satellite of things can make sure it keeps that promise. Satellite, the world's invisible, indispensable technology.
Brought to you by the Space and Satellite Professionals International, with the support from Globecom.
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that. I know for me, I consider myself relatively well informed of the space industry, but watching a video like that is pretty enlightening as to all of the ways that space and satellite contribute to daily life and all of the work that's going on in that area. So continuing with what is SSBI as an organization, it's also a gateway. So in terms of industry and also in terms of you looking for a personal career, this is a great point of entry, like it says, into the industry that we've been talking about all weekend, and we'll continue to talk about all of the exciting things going on in that area. SSBI is a good way to get involved. And last thing we have for what is SSBI, a partner. So this brings us to the reason why we're talking about it right now is SSBI is partnered pretty closely with SEDS USA and actually also with SEDS Canada and SEDS UK to bring you some really awesome competitions. So I first got involved with the SSBI competition in 2016 and was a member of the Purdue team. It was really cool working on a project that the scope is just kind of incredible, and there's all of these really exciting ideas that people have been talking about for a long time, but at the same time it's still, we need more technological advances to actually get there. The topics we've done in the past, so satellites around Mars, what kind of communication, what kind of remote sensing infrastructure do you need in orbit before you want to send humans to Mars? Solving the space solar power puzzle. Can you collect solar power in space and then beam it to Earth to get way higher value for your solar panels than you can possibly do on Earth? And this year's competition, so we actually have two winners to this, and they're both here and presenting later at the conference. The theme was connecting the space economy. So whether you're talking about mining on the moon or just a low Earth economy, what kind of infrastructure do you need to set up to make that possible? So this year's competition, which we are announcing for the first time today at Space Vision, is designing the robotic space tug. So if you were all here for Phil Metzger's opening keynote, you heard him talking about the robotic space tug and the need to be able to move things around in space between Lagrange points around the moon and low Earth orbit. This is a key technology for the new space economy going forward. We didn't even have to bribe him to talk about that. It was awesome. You heard about this again actually at the last panel in the National Space Security. So this is a very important concept, and I think the way I want to frame this for all of you, because we love this competition and we want to make sure everyone realizes the kind of opportunity it provides. So we have our student rocketry competition where you're given a set of technical requirements and you see how you can meet those through engineering. And we also have our business pitch competition where you're thinking about how would the market respond to certain ideas related to space, how can you pitch that business side. This falls right in between the two. So you're not building something, but you're thinking about what markets will it actually serve, what missions will it accomplish, how can I take this concept that we all agree is necessary but no one has been able to make it work, and think about what is the business case, what technical capabilities would it actually need to have, and once I have an idea of that, can I start designing it and thinking about how it would operate. So the emphasis I'm trying to place here is we intentionally keep the scope of these projects very broad because we think that's what makes the project really exciting. What's challenging about it is that you have to then take that and put up your own constraints, and that's really the whole point really of this competition. So it's open to any SEDS chapters. I encourage you to participate whether you're a freshman or using it as a technical project as a senior. And just to do a little bit of timeline, so that's today. Call for chapter teams. We'll have registration on the website soon. The application deadline is in a little less than a month. That's December 11th. And we have a much earlier deadline for the final project this year. So the summer is not included in the project timeline. Detailed scope of this with all of the details is on the SEDS.org website. If you go to projects and find the page for SSPI, right at the top there's a link to the PDF where you can get all of the information. So go ahead and take a look at that, and we're going to have registration open really soon, so we can go ahead and get started with this great competition. So, yeah, lastly, we are just mentioning here, this is who makes possible the SSPI student programs, so may the best team win. Thanks, Anne.